Lil Durk keeps digging himself deeper into a hole because it turns out the feds have him on wiretaps making threats to kill those who may testify against him. And unfortunately, the internet has already uncovered who the truth tellers might be, and Whack 100 has exposed one of them.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working. He's running right now.
The details that the informants gave the feds will have you on the edge of your seat, so strap in. Durk caught threatening witnesses. Durk's indictment has revealed a lot about the OTF boss, and it seems he had tried to mask his vicious nature behind his conversion to Islam because he wasn't playing around. Now, Special Agent Sarah Corcoran, working for the FBI, filed an affidavit that has some damning details about the OTF boss and his attempts to intimidate witnesses. According to the special agent, evidence the FBI collected during their investigations showed that Durkio was threatening OTF members who were cooperating with the feds. The affidavit reads, "Due to serious safety concerns, this affidavit does not provide the identity of these witnesses. Based on the FBI's investigation, I know that witnesses and/or their family members have already received threats and/or have been contacted in what appear to be attempts to influence their participation in this investigation. From the FBI agent's affidavit, someone is definitely truth-telling, and at the moment, all eyes have been turned to two potential witnesses in the case, OTF Jam and Brick Baby. Brick Baby's involvement in this case is bizarre, especially since he isn't part of OTF and isn't from Chicago. Well, this didn't stop one of his ops from tying him to the case. This is none other than Whack 100. In a podcast with Adam 22, Whack revealed that according to his sources, Brick Baby is working with the feds.
So you think that he's a federal informant?
I think he's definitely working.
Whack also revealed that the one person who could tie Brick Baby to the case was on the run because the day OTF members were arrested in Chicago, the feds also came for the unnamed co-conspirator in LA. Unfortunately, he wasn't at his house.
Day they kicked in the doors and picked up the OTF guys, they kicked in his door right here in Los Angeles
Okay.
to pick him up, only he wasn't at Mama's house.
Where was it at?
He was somewhere in the streets. He's running right now.
Whack revealed that according to the indictment, one or more co-conspirators, including co-conspirator 4, learned that Quando Rondo was visiting California and staying in a hotel in LA. It seems like co-conspirator 4 was the one dropping Quando's location.
If you go in there and look at that report, number 4 is a local guy that was dropping Quando's locations.
According to Whack, the world thought that the shooting in Atlanta that almost killed Quando Rondo and saw the rapper's cousin die was a drug deal gone bad between Armenians or Persians.
We all thought that was a bad drug deal, weed deal. You know that. The world thought that that shooting was a bad weed deal between some Armenians or Persians. That's what the world thought.
However, in February 2023, Brick Baby went on social media and declared that no one can say that OTF didn't slide for Von.
Okay. And it wasn't until February of 2023 that Brick Baby goes on the internet with Flacco and says, out of nowhere, the world is oblivious to this. I guess they can't say OTF didn't slide for King Von anymore.
In the said video, Brick Baby revealed that OTF had slid for Von because they had taken out Quando Rondo's cousin.
They say you can't say that no more.
Why? Oh yeah, because of no. Like
They
who died?
say you can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Or who?
Nah, cause Lil Pive.
But this isn't the only time Brick Baby told the world about their hit because he hopped on a track and spilled the beans. In the track, Not Enough, he raps, "He was Durk and trying to hid, now he in a blunt. We dropped a 100 shots, go dig your partner up." In another part, he raps, "The last one we turned into a pack, we got 1 million plus." Now this is where things get interesting because it turns out when the feds heard Brick Baby saying that, they went after him.
March, the feds get on Brick. We don't know this.
When Brick got picked up by the feds, everyone thought he had caught a gun charge. However, it was soon discovered that they wanted his cell phone, which the feds may have used to prove that he was dropping Quando's locations to Durk's hitman.
We're under the presumption that it's an AK-47 case. But what really happened was they came there to get his cell phone.
But there's more to this because after the shooting, the feds told Quando Rondo that the gang that he was repping, the Rollin' 60s Crips, had set him up.
What you think the police told Quando?
That the Rollin' 60s set him up?
It turns out Brick Baby and Quando Rondo were repping the same gang, and when Quando landed in Atlanta, he checked in with his gang for protection.
What was he claiming?
Rollin' 60s Crip.
Where Brick Baby from?
Rollin' 60s Crip.
Who you think he checked in with?
Rollin' 60s?
With who?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
What's more is that Brick is a known gang member who has been to jail in the past. So for the feds to catch him with an AK-47 and not charge him seems a little too sus, and fans were on his case as well. One comment read, "Dude got caught with an AK-47 by the feds in June 2023 and still hasn't been to court. Make that make sense, regardless of the Durk case." While another fan wrote, "Brick sound like he telling, LOL. What the f? The feds charged him and the case randomly disappeared?" It's kind of clear that Brick Baby might have dropped Quando's location to his ops, because after the shooting, the Savannah rapper took to social media to denounce his gang, claiming that they didn't have his back. Although Wack's allegations are yet to be substantiated, one of the alleged informants seems to have been confirmed as a snitch by his own people. This is none other than OTF Jam. By now, everyone has heard of OTF Jam and his alleged bizarre case of betrayal because he allegedly wore a wire to record OTF members confessing to crimes. OTF Jam broke his silence over the allegations, and that's when fans knew something was up. The OTF affiliate took to his social media to put the record straight and told the world to stop accusing him of snitching until they saw his name on police paperwork. Casey J. Hester, aka OTF Jam, is my artist's real name until you see that name on the paperwork. Don't at me, he posted. The situation at OTF worsened after none of the OTF affiliates co-signed Jam. No one tried to have his back, even though they were all on the internet screaming "Free Durk." Well, OTF Jam went a step further and accused Durkio of snitching on him. He first revealed that Durkio snitched on him on a track. "Calling me a rat or a snitch, but is rapping snitch on themselves all the time," he posted. Jam was talking about the track back again, where Durk raps, "Jam, get out that jam. I give him 50. Ain't gotta ask again." He was catching murders way back then. That's when the max was in. It turns out OTF Jam had been released in February 2022 after doing 12 years for attempted murder. The OTF affiliate had also confirmed that Durk had given him 50K when he got out of jail.
He said he gave you 50, bro. You know what I'm saying? Fact.
More than that. Shit. More than that. Shit.
But so, can you tell us how much he gave you, or you don't want to even?
No, we ain't gotta get into all that, but bro made sure he made a way for me to be straight like.
Turns out that after the feds heard Durk rapping about Jam catching bodies, they were onto him, waiting for him to make a mistake and take him back to jail. Who snitched on who? He snitched on me on a song. Police all up on me after that. Oh, he catching murders? Let's get him, Jam posted. Word on the street is that Jam was hit with weapons charges and was looking at going back to jail for another long period. It turns out that Durk refused to pay for Brody's lawyer or bond when he was snatched up. According to popular hip-hop commentator DJ Academics revealed that Jam wasn't too pleased with Durk and decided to snitch and avoid jail time.
So are you saying that he made a threat towards Durk? I've been holding you down because I heard you say something about like his baby mama called Durk for a lawyer, and Durk may have like brushed it off, and they're like, yo, you're not supposed to brush off my call when I need something. Like, I'm the guy who does the dirt for you.
Only time will tell whether Brick and Jam are telling the truth. But as for Durk, many people had already warned him about his crew and his activities in the streets, from 50 Cent to Big Meech. And since he didn't heed their advice, even his closest homies like Chief Keef and Lil Reese don't want anything to do with him. Ticking time bomb. Lil Durk was really a ticking time bomb because many people in the industry tried to tell him to leave the streets. A recent leaked video went viral where famous gangster Big Meech was trying to advise the OTF head honcho to leave the streets behind. In the audio, Big Meech tells Durk, "You gotta separate yourself from the bull. You stay around it, you gonna be in it." Big Meech knows a thing or two about the streets because back in 2005, he and his brother were arrested and sentenced to 30 years behind bars. Just like Durkio, Big Meech started his empire, Black Mafia Family, BMF, and grew it to become a gang that would eventually end up killing people. The gang's operations were small scale, selling cocaine on the streets of Detroit. By the early 1990s, BMF had successfully expanded their operations beyond Detroit, establishing a presence in major cities such as Atlanta, Los Angeles, and Miami. By the early 2000s, federal agents had begun to take a closer look at the Black Mafia family. The organization's rapid expansion and the brothers' displays of wealth were red flags that could not be ignored. The DEA and the FBI launched a joint investigation, focusing on the Flannery brothers and their extensive network of associates. Despite trying to stay away from the feds' radar, the brothers' high-profile activities continued to attract attention. And just like Lil Durk and OTF, a shooting in a different state leading to deaths is what broke the camel's back, and the feds were on to them. In 2003, a shootout in the Buckhead nightclub district of Atlanta brought the Black Mafia family into the national spotlight. The incident, which resulted in the deaths of 2 men, including Diddy's bodyguard Anthony Wolf Jones, highlighted the violent nature of the organization and intensified the focus of law enforcement on BMF. As the investigation progressed, federal agents began to gather evidence against them. This is where it gets interesting, because it turns out that the feds could have used the same tactics they used on Lil Durk to bring down BMF. Wiretaps, surveillance, and informants provided crucial information about the organization's operations and hierarchy. BMF's connections with international cocaine suppliers were uncovered, revealing the vast scope of their criminal enterprise. In 2005, law enforcement agencies launched a series of coordinated raids across multiple states, including Georgia, Michigan, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Missouri, and California. These raids targeted key members and associates of the Black Mafia family, resulting in over 150 indictments and effectively dismantling the drug empire. The evidence gathered during the investigation was overwhelming. Big Meech was charged with operating a continuing criminal enterprise, a serious offense that carries a potential life sentence. Faced with the prospect of spending the rest of his life in prison, he decided to plead guilty in November 2007 to the CCE charges and laundering drug money. Big Meech had hoped to get a more lenient sentence, with the possibility of serving a minimum of 20 years in prison. However, the severity of their crimes and the evidence presented by prosecutors led to a harsher outcome. On September 12, 2008, Big Meech was sentenced to 30 years in prison, with no option for parole under the federal system. And it seems that Big Meech wasn't the only big homie giving Durkio solid advice, because 50 Cent, who was also close to Big Meech, tried to warn him about his crew, having almost been killed in the early 2000s in a street beef. The rapper recently revealed that he gave Lil Durk some advice on street life, and it seems Durkio didn't listen. Fifth and Lil Durk linked up back in 2022 to make the track Power Powder Respect. During their time working together, 50 Cent warned Lil Durk to be careful about his crew. In an interview on The Breakfast Club, the rapper was asked whether he ever tried to talk to younger artists about not getting caught up with life in the streets.
Now, when you look at some of these younger artists and you see how they idolize you and idolize your music, and then you see them get caught up.
Yeah.
Do you have conversations with them? Like I remember Casanova, and you was trying to talk to Casanova, Troy Ave, and now Lil Durk. Do you have conversations with them and be like, I've seen this play before?
50 Cent revealed that he had warned the Chicago rapper and told him to watch his crew.
Even with Durk, I was telling him, like when I had him, he was in New York. Then, like I was like, yo, this is them, right? It's a real shit, right? He was like, yeah. And I said, yo, just watch him. His crew.
It turns out, even back then, someone in Durk's crew was on some funny business, because the Chicago rapper told Fifth that someone had leaked his address, and he almost got robbed in a home invasion.
When you said that to Durk, what was his response to you?
He said, you know what? He said, somebody just came in my house. How do they know exactly what the address is? I don't give my address to nobody. Like, this is not, because something happened.
The robbery in Georgia?
Yeah.
When India had to shoot?
He went straight to talking about that.
Back in 2021, Lil Durk and his girl were the victims of a home invasion that erupted in a shootout. According to the blogs, several unidentified individuals entered the rapper's home in the Brazelton neighborhood near Atlanta a little after 5 a.m. on July 11th and exchanged gunfire with Durk and his girlfriend, India Cox. Luckily, Durk and India were not injured as they shot back at the suspects who fled the scene. Was someone in Durk's camp ratting him out back in 2021, or was it just a coincidence? Either way, Durkio is about to learn that the streets are unforgiving, with his close associates seemingly abandoning him. One of the rappers who looks like he doesn't want any association with Durk is Lil Reese. Reese is among the only surviving and successful Chicago's rappers repping the Black Disciples. When word got out that Durkio had been arrested, everyone thought that Lil Reese would post Durk like other Chicago rappers. However, he hasn't shown direct support for the OTF leader. Instead, he posted a photo of himself in jail with Durk's song Love for the Streets. Word on the streets is that Lil Reese and Durk are not on good terms. According to Chicago rapper King Yella, Durk was sleeping with Lil Reese's mom and aunt.
You know, Reese's mama bad in the right?
Okay.
I heard Durk was his mama and his auntie.
No.
But that's not the only reason the two fell out. It turns out Durk had once called Reese a rat for going on a podcast and revealing some street business. Reese had gone on Cam Capone and revealed that he and Durk had robbed someone.
I was just shooting dice and won all my money. I came back on the block. I couldn't get all the other guys because I knew they wasn't gonna want to do it with me. So I told Durk, like, come with me, grab a gun. He asked, like, what we finna do? I ain't telling him what we was finna do. So when we got to the barber shop, I made him rob this, and we took my money back that I had lost in the dice game.
According to the interviewer, Durk unfollowed Reese after the interview dropped.
When I interviewed Reese, he told a story about how him and Durk
robbed some guys. Lil Durk unfollowed Lil Reese after this story came out.
With both Reese behind bars, everyone would expect him to come out and clear support for Durkio, but it seems their beef might be getting in the way. But he isn't the only Chicago rapper who betrayed Lil Durk after his arrest, because it turns out Chief Keef bought a chain worth $500,000 after Durk was arrested and is yet to post any message of support to the OTF boss.
Chief Keef bought, same day Durk went to jail, up to $500,000. New chain.
This isn't the only time Keef has been on the spot for failing to show a homie support. Turns out that the first time Durk and Sosa had a falling out, he had gone and bought a dirt bike instead of bailing out Durk. Although his closest industry friends are turning on him, it's hard to ignore the new image that Durk was trying to carve out for himself. From converting to Islam to starting a foundation that would help kids in Chicago. What's crazy is that his efforts were noticed and recognized by politicians who are also turning on him after his arrest. Failed Lil Durk rebrand. Durkio's fans thought that he was done catching cases because he had turned to Islam and even gone to rehab to clean himself up. The rapper even took to his social media to reveal that he had turned over a new leaf and would not waste his new life after all his felony cases had been cleared. Everybody should get second chances at life. It's about what you do with it. Alhamdulillah, my background wiped and clean of all cases. I ain't a felon anymore. Who would have thought? I want to thank everyone who helped push my vision forward. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, the rapper posted. But that's not the only time the rapper had publicly revealed that he was a changed man. On August 18th, 2024, Lil Durk made a public declaration that would reverberate through the music industry and beyond. Taking to Instagram, the rapper shared a post that was both personal and profound, reaffirming his Muslim faith and denouncing his past involvement in gang life. The post read, "Don't label me nothing outside of a man, a father, and a 1000% Muslim." He followed this up with another post that read, "I don't gangbang, I'm a Muslim." Basically what I was saying on my post in so many words, you can't do both and be the one who say it. So if you follow me as a brother, a friend, an icon, follow me to my new chapter of life. When I make music or rap what I seen and been through, not telling you to go do it, huge difference, the music won't change, but my life goals will. Durkio had really tried to turn a new leaf because in 2020, he took a monumental step by establishing the Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to uplifting and empowering everyday heroes, working to bring positive change to their neighborhoods. The foundation was born out of Durk's vision to provide resources and support to those who are often overlooked. One of the most groundbreaking initiatives he introduced was the donation of music royalties to support his philanthropic goals. In a move that shocked the music industry, Durk announced that a portion of the royalties from his song Bedtime would be directed toward his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation, in collaboration with Amazon Music, a college tuition program designed to provide scholarships to Chicago kids attending Howard University. This partnership resulted in significant financial contributions, including a $250,000 donation to Howard's financial aid program, the Grace Grant. The fund awarded scholarships to students who participated in the Neighborhood Heroes HBCU College and Career Readiness Cohort program, furthering Durk's mission to support education and empower the next generation. All his effort was even recognized by people in power because weeks before he was arrested, Durkio had been honored near his hometown for his work with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. Having been an active advocate for change in Chicago, Cook County, Illinois, for his work in the community, decided that it was time his efforts were recognized and awarded the rapper multiple keys to the city, including Village of Broadview and Village of Bellwood.
So we thank you and we honor you and we appreciate you being in the Village of Broadview, and here's your key.
Mayor Katrina Thompson typed in a Facebook post that Durk had signed a partnership agreement with his Neighborhood Heroes Foundation to work with students from both communities to help support sustainability projects in Broadview and Bellwood. Despite his positive changes in his life, he was arrested, and that's when the very people who awarded him the keys to the city took them back. Mayor Katrina Thompson took to Facebook to announce the city's decision to take the key back. While the American system of justice grants everyone the presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law, in the Village of Broadview, the court of public opinion of residents has even higher moral and ethical standards of behavior, and our public partners must also reflect the same uncompromising standards demanded by our residents. Given the news that Lil Durk has been arrested in Florida and charged with murder for hire, the Village of Broadview is withdrawing our honorary key to the village granted to Durk and is terminating our partnership agreement with his youth organization, Neighborhood Heroes Foundation. As mayor, protecting Broadview's interests and upholding the values of residents is job number one, the mayor wrote. According to fans, the mayor was throwing Durk under the bus and confirming that he was guilty even before the rapper appeared in court. Well, the mayor clearly didn't want to be associated with the rapper since it would have affected her public image. It seems Durk's attempts to rebrand himself failed, and now he's staring at life behind bars. Will he come out on top? Only time will tell. Meanwhile, you can watch similar content by clicking on the boxes playing on your screen.